Welcome to Travel Therapy Guides 5-minute or less video tutorials. Today we are going to be talking about the 10 steps to becoming a travel therapist. I'm going to guide you through each of the steps now. So step 1 is research the travel companies. So you can go online, you can talk to people, you can go to Facebook, and you want to just take a look at the different companies. What do they offer? What are their benefits? Any unique benefits? This is in other videos I go into more in depth, but just take a look. Do they fit your needs? The second step is then you want to talk to the company and talk to the different recruiters. Is the recruiter treating you professionally? Do you like how you're interacting with them? Once you secure your company and then you talk to the recruiter and you like the recruiter, you essentially are going to go to step 3. Step 3 is the recruiter is going to give you any necessary paperwork they need to start getting you ready to apply for travel therapy positions. This means getting copies of your resume, getting copies of your licenses, your CPR card, driver's license sometimes, a lot of different paperwork, and I'll talk about that in future videos, and they'll walk you through it. They've got a whole list of the different paperwork. They'll provide the paperwork for you. You just got to finish it, scan it into their system, or send it in, and then you can go on to the next step, which is step 4, which is finalizing your job search with the recruiter. Once your recruiter has all your information and is ready for you to send out the jobs, you want to talk with them and finalize what settings you want them to look for, what pay rates you want them to look for, what locations, meaning like what state, what city, and then just any specifics that you have with the job. Do you want a new grad friendly job? Do you want a job that includes mentorship? All these little details you finalize with your recruiter. Then you're going to start sending out your information to the various assignments. Now, here's the awesome part. Pretty much after step 4, you just have to wait for your recruiter. Once you have all your paperwork in, once you've got your resume in, and you and your recruiter have discussed the perfect assignment for you, they're going to start looking for that perfect assignment. They're going to come back to you at step 5 and say, hey, I found your perfect assignment. It's in this setting, it's for this amount, it's such and such. Can I apply you for it? And then all you have to say is say yes, and then they send it out to those assignments, and now it's just a waiting game. So now you're just waiting to hear back, and you move to step 6. Once you finally hear back from your first or your second or however many different travel assignments, you are going to interview with them. Now, the awesome part about this is usually a phone interview. So you don't have to worry about getting your makeup on or getting dressed. I mean, you should get dressed, but you don't have to worry about flying to see them or driving to see them. This is usually just a simple phone interview. It's usually about 20 minutes unless they have big concerns or unless you have big concerns. And in this interview, they just go over what the job is like. It's an opportunity for them to ask you some more questions, like why are you interested? How long have you been a therapist? The usual interview questions. Why are you a good candidate? What are some of your weaknesses? And then this is a great time for you to know, is this a job that I really do want to take? So ask them, have you had any other travelers? Have your travelers liked the assignment? Are you looking to have a traveler for several assignments? Any concerns or questions you have is a great opportunity to ask. And so after the interview, hopefully you get accepted for the assignment. So your recruiter will call you and be like, hey, they loved you, they want you for the assignment. And so if you are interested too, then you can move on to the next step. Now, at this point, if you're like, hey, that interview didn't go that well, I've got some big concerns, then they just won't proceed with the assignment, and they'll start resending your resume to other assignments. So if you do decide to accept the assignment, you like the manager that you spoke with, it seems like a good opportunity, you move to step 8, which is where you get to see the contract and you get to negotiate with your recruiter. Now, this step, you're not really going to be talking to the assignment at all. If you do have any negotiations, you talk to your recruiter, and then she may have to get back to you when she talks to the travel assignment. But you and your recruiter are going to be negotiating, and then they'll go back to the travel assignment. And so in that contract, I'll go over in future videos what you want to look for, but you want to make sure that you have the hours that you want, the pay that you want. Another really important detail is that this is the perfect time to request any specific days off you want. So if there's, say, a holiday that you're really wanting to take, or a long weekend that you really want to take, let them know in advance. 90% of the time they say yes. Now, holidays are a little bit more difficult, but other regular days, 90% they'll say yes. And then that way you can get that time off guaranteed, and you won't have to later on in the assignment, have any difficulties getting that time off. So once you confirm the contract, then you just wait for the start date and you start working. Now, there's a little details in, during that time. There may be any extra paperwork that the assignment may need you to do, any little tests. Like, I know once I worked at a hospital, I had to take a acute care test, really simple online, just various things. But you just wait for the start date and then meet with the manager day 1, go over any specifics, and start working. So we've come to the last step, which is, at the end of your assignment, what do you do next? So there's 3 things that you can do. 1, you can get a new assignment. So if you didn't like that assignment that you're currently worked at, or if you want to go to a new city, try something new, you just decide to not renew your contract and you move on to a new assignment. Step 2 is, the other choice is you renew at that current assignment, or you can extend at that current assignment. So renewing, you would sign on another, say, 13 weeks, or however many weeks your initial contract was, you would duplicate that and sign on again. Or extending, meaning that maybe they need you for another 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and you would just extend, partially. And of course, you don't have to do any of these steps, and you could go on an awesome vacation or take a break and spend some time off as well. So that is the simplified 10 steps of becoming a traveler. Check out the other videos if you want those steps in detail, and if you want more information on how to find a great company, find a great recruiter, and anything else. You can also go to my website, debtfreept.com, and get my complete guide for traveling therapy at amazon.com. Thanks, guys.